even after making 8 signings in the January transfer window, summing it up with that tension or tender hook transfer of Enzo Fernandez with £106 million at the end of the transfer window on Tuesday. They've not managed to go all out and really pick up a result, even though they've been playing at home. 2 draws consecutively. Toddy Boyle looked like totally disappointed. Graham Potter looks like everything is really not going his way. Pressure mounting to this man, and I don't know whether he is really going to get his tabs right, because however much Fulham is ahead of you and they are placed 6th or 7th, you need to come out and put up a statement in such games. These are games you are supposed to win. Erik ten Hag did this at Manchester United, lost his first 2 games, but after that he beat Liverpool, he beat Arsenal and very many others. Right now he's placed 4th on the Premier League table, and as we speak right now, Chelsea is still 9th with 26 points and Fulham is really 6th. So welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? This is the match reaction for Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, and it has been really a very bad game to most of the Chelsea players. All the Fulham 11 was in song. They were really active and they were really on the groove to an extent that they really made it hard for Chelsea to really do the needful. Chelsea having the best chances of the game, failed to execute them. Kai Havertz wasteful, Fofana wasteful. That has really brought in us to talk about this in a very, very explosive way here onto the Rokani Media Football. So how are you guys? Chelsea has gone ahead to draw their 2nd consecutive game in a row. Remember, they last played on Saturday, that is last Saturday, but won. They've rested for 2 weeks. They've come in to play this game of football versus Fulham. But have you seen anything showing that Chelsea has been resting for 2 weeks? Look at Mudryk today. Looked like he had a very good debut for Chelsea when they were playing Liverpool. He made good runs, takeoffs. He was really a threat and almost finished Liverpool single-handedly in that game. This game, Mudryk was off. He never had a smile. Looks like he's not happy at Chelsea. That's it. According to me, Mudryk is not happy at Chelsea because the way you've seen him play looked like he doesn't even matter. He doesn't even mind what is taking place in the field of play. That's why the manager went ahead to take him off in the first half and really brought on a player known as, is it Madueke? Yeah, Madueke. Even Madueke, who was brought on, I've seen Mudryk as an average player. I think the only players that I've really noticed that are really good signings for Chelsea today are Enzo Fernandez and Datro Fofana. Very good signings. And Badishel, that central defender who plays on the left side of the central defense, very, very good signings. When you look at Cucurella, tears start flowing down your eyes because you ask yourself, where is this player that to me was the best left back in the Premier League last season? And right now at Chelsea, ever since the summer, he has failed to settle in. People used to say that it might be the problem of the late manager of Chelsea, who goes by the names of, or the former manager of Chelsea, that is Thomas Tuchel. But when even the manager that turned him into what he was at Brighton came in and took over at Chelsea, he's not showing any glimpses of near good enough. That is how worse this player is. And now let me show you this player, Enzo Fernandez. This is why to me he has really gone ahead to showcase that he's really great and one of the best into this game of football. Today he has shown that at least they've bought him £106 million and he's worth it. He had 100 Elliot duels won, 96 touches, 85% passing accuracy, 10 ball recoveries, 8 out of 11 ground duels won, 6 out of 8 tackles won, 6 out of 7 long balls completed, 3 clearances, 1 key pass. That is Enzo Fernandez. And he directed 1 shot, though it was not on target, but it was just a whisker away from really going into the goal area. So Enzo Fernandez to me is the player that looked like he has a spark in him. Datro Fofana came in through, showed that. But Mudryk really did the same thing did a different thing he did at the game of Liverpool. And this is where worry comes in onto Enzo Fernandez. As much as I love Enzo, he's really one of the best players I've seen, because when Ralf Rangnick was at Manchester United, recommended him to the board, and the board said, they're not buying you players because you are a manager who is under interim. You're not a permanent manager. So what's the reason of us backing you permanently? That's what happened. And Enzo Fernandez signed in the summer for a team called Benfica. So Enzo Fernandez is one of those players that has really gone ahead and showed me that, all right, I'm worth that amount of money. I've taken over where Jorginho has been. You are not going to miss Jorginho. And he really looked solid. Fulham never won the midfield battle. That's it. They never broke through Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez looked solid, good pass of the ball. This guy is really talented, but I believe playing him alongside Conor Gallagher is another hindrance for him. He needs to be played alongside Kovacic. I don't know whether Kovacic is injured, but I never saw him really feature into this game of football. And the good thing is that if at all you're having Kovacic and Enzo, they're both good on the ball, and any of those can really play as a CDM, and the other one can take over the role of a box-to-box midfielder and play in advanced places. Because I believe in that game, when you looked at that moment when he really pulled the trigger, let me show you that. Where is it? All right, it's here. When Enzo pulled the trigger, it looked like he had come close in the final third of the opponent, and this is when he really released that trigger. But none of those players who were close in those areas and balls were there really went in for efforts like this. That is Enzo Fernandez's effort in the 71st minute, coming close to goal, and it was near the goal post, but it really went past the byline. It was a goal kick. But it shows you what you benefit if at all you let him really go and obviously approach those advanced areas of the pitch. And to me, he was the best player of Chelsea on the field of play, and the day was really for him. So Enzo Fernandez looked great, and I think he's really going to be one of those that really does the needful for the club. But this man, Kai Havertz, when will you ever score? Because Kai Havertz is played as a false nine for Chelsea. Look at the situation. Ziyech gets the ball just a few yards after the half line. He flops it. He beats this line, the central defenders. Look at them. He beats them, these two. And then he finds himself here, faces the goalkeeper, and tries to dink it over him, and it hits the goalpost. It was a very good taken area, but it was a very good technique used. But in such scenarios, you have to be so much exact. Why do you go for an upper effort? Go for a lower effort. You had even the chance to sit down the goalkeeper, because I believe Kai Havertz is one of the most talented players and really has all those chop backs and chop ins that can really sit down the goalkeeper or even nutmeg him. You get? He controlled the ball, looked at the goalkeeper, took his time, had no defender on him, and obviously went in for a dinking effort. But I believe he would have done better. He would have done better here in this scenario. So I believe Kai Havertz had this miss, and this is one of the best chances of the game. Then after that, Dotro Fofana just went past the goalkeeper. This is Bernard Leno. After getting past the goalkeeper, that is Bernard Leno. All right. You're not on the screen. All right. That is it. So Dotro Fofana goes past the goalkeeper. This is not Enzo Fernandez. This is Bernard Leno. And he sits down. He does a chop back that sits down on the defenders. And then he just goes in for a very weak effort to the goal, and Raid blocks it, and it goes into a corner. So it shows you how Dotro Fofana really looked great, but his finishing was really bad. The end product to his move in this game was really lacking. He would have gone in for another touch even, because space was there. If there was another play of Chelsea in here for you, would have played him in here and really placed it in the unempty net. So I believe pressure had amounted onto these Chelsea players because they lacked concentration into these final third passes in the final positions of the pitch, and that's why it really happened like that. Then Todd Boyle, see what he did to himself, because he felt like that was one of the chances that was supposed to go inside. But Dotro Fofana, I really believe that there is a player in him. At the age of 18, if he's having such confidence, I liked his intensity, the way he presses, his energy. I think there is a player in him. Left-footed, drifts left, right, and center, came in for Kai Havertz, and obviously almost got the job done. But there is a player in Fofana, very good and talented centre forward. I believe the future of Chelsea is really lying in good hands of Todd Boyle and his consortium. But Graham Potter needs to start getting results, because when you look at the Premier League table, it's really shaming for a team which goes by the names of Chelsea, and this is why he needs to go all out and really get in points. Why? The reason is simple. When you look at the Premier League table, Chelsea is now having 26 points. Is it? Chelsea, where are you? Chelsea are having now 30 points. They are placed 9th, and they are 9 points ahead. They are 9 points behind Manchester United. But Chelsea have played one more game ahead of United, meaning that if United wins that game they are really having against Crystal Palace tomorrow or Newcastle, they will be 12 points ahead of Chelsea. Now, that shows you that it's going to be hard for them to go ahead and really get that 4th place. They are not going to get it. They aren't getting that 4th place because they've not shown us that the cohesion is in. They are not ready to really put in a battle facade of their players. So I think they should really prepare themselves for next season. Let them just try and really get in results. And I think pressure is amounting on the manager. The more he takes without winning games, the more pressure is really amounting. And this time around, pressure amounted to him a lot. And I believe, however much Tony Boyle has really given him time, I think he ran out of time and maybe other managers will knock on the door. I brought you a story that Jose Mourinho wants a return to Chelsea. That's it. He wants to return to Chelsea. But I believe Chelsea are really having a different style of play. They really want to see them play at the stadium. Now, it was not only a one-man show that Chelsea really took over. Even Fulham had some chances. This was Pereira, former of Manchester United, going in for a shot, and he was going in for carrying effort, but obviously Joshua blocked it, and it never really went to the back of the net. But the best chance of the game was this when Mitrovic tried a shot from the halfway line, but Kepa Arrizabalaga was there to deny him, and you see how he really denied him. It shows you that it was another long effort. But Fulham, I would love to give kudos to the manager, Marco Silva. I think I had also not given them a chance to survive in the Premier League, but the way he has gone ahead to assemble his squad, bringing in players, Bernard Leno, Willian, Pereira, Vinicius, James. I believe they're really missing Daniel James a lot. I believe if he was in this game, he would have really gone ahead to really get them what we call that pace to really hit Chelsea on the break, because Fulham really got the ball most of the times, but that end product to the game was really lacking, as you saw to Chelsea. Though Chelsea had the better chances of the game, but it looks like it's really hard for them to really execute anything in this game of football. So guys, thank you very much for watching in. Through smash the like button, comment and share. And if you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. So the game has ended 0-0, and at this juncture, let's go into what we call the match stats, as they really look to be in this beautiful game of football, as Chelsea drew with Fulham. 12 shots by Chelsea, 10 by Fulham, 3 shots on target by Chelsea, 4 on target by Fulham, 67% possession by Chelsea, 33% by Fulham, 646 passes completed by Chelsea. Fulham completed 308. 85% passing accuracy by Chelsea, 72% passing accuracy by Fulham, 16 fouls by Chelsea, 12 by Fulham, 1 yellow card for Chelsea. I think it went to Kai Havertz. Is it Kai Havertz? Then yellow cards for Fulham, there were 4. Then 0 red cards for both sides, 3 offsides to Chelsea, 0 to Fulham, 6 corners by Chelsea, 2 by Fulham. Now, when you look at the table as it stands, Fulham have really gone ahead to play their 22nd game. They're having 32 points, so they're really looking great. And I think they're unbeaten in the Premier League ever since we left the World Cup. Not so. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea are really in the 9th position, 21 games played, 30 points collected. It shows you how ugly they are really getting, because they are even having a goal difference of 1. They've scored 22, they've conceded 21. It shows you how bad it is for them. But when you look at that result, when you look at that 1 goal that they're having, that means they're keeping clean sheets. In the game of Liverpool, they kept a clean sheet, and even here, they're keeping a clean sheet, meaning that at least they're really making it hard for their opponents to score against them. That is another positive. So what they need to improve on, as Graham Potter, as we go through the next fixtures, they're supposed to really win these games of football and score goals, because what is limiting them is they're not scoring enough goals. They are not scoring enough goals, and they are beaten at Craven Cottage by 2-1 after João Felix really got a red card. But I think João Felix's return might give them a very huge boost ahead of this game of football. And they're going to be playing West Ham, another London derby. Then on Wednesday, 15th, they're going to be playing Borussia Dortmund. That's it. Southampton, Tottenham Hotspur, Leeds. Some hard games, but I think the return of João Felix is going to give them lots of options up front the pitch. But Enzo Fernandez has really played very well, and I believe, to me, he's my man of the match. So guys, your reactions to Chelsea 0, Fulham 0 are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later as we prepare for Arsenal's early kickoff today in the Merseyside versus Everton. Then United will come in through to play Crystal Palace. Liverpool is going to play Wolverhampton Wanderers, and the big game is going to be played on Sunday, Man City versus Tottenham Hotspur. May the Lord bless you abundantly. Guys, I'm out. See you later when you see me. Not so, I think one more video, but about Arsenal and other teams is really loading anytime from now. I'm out.